Hello, and welcome to The Contraband, where six Shakespeare actors play Blades in the Dark. I'm Ted Bushman, I'm the game master. Joining me on this tale of broken bastards, beautiful bacchanals, and bloodletting brutes are Jamie Hansen, Ben Isaacs, Kristen Perkins, Graham Ward, and Carson Wright. Good evening, friends. Tell me who you are, who you play, and a secret that you want to know about someone else's character.
Oh, you rascal.
What? Wow.
So let's start with Jamie.
I'm first. I remember I'm first this time. Jamie, yes,
Yes.
is my name. Jamie Hansen. The name I have. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Varric Lomond, our slide.
Indeed.
Little cash poor now after the events of last week. I'm intrigued to hear because I never actually, Varric never followed up on it. Sort of discovering that, learned that the girl had this no background, but that Hicks also has some connection and that never really followed up on. And intrigued, not going to push anything necessarily, but be interested to know.
Yes. Yeah, very
Maybe we'll see.
Jumping to you, Ben.
My name is Ben Isaacs. I use he, they pronouns. I'm playing Hicks Templeton, the spider who's hopefully going to be at the center of these beautiful bacchanals if can shake off those winter blues. But yeah. Secret I want to know what's up with the girl's connection to the Lost District. I've been we opened up this juicy moment last season where she's like, I will go there, I must go there, and I just wonder what's going on in her head and what the state of her plan is. So hope to see that.
Hi, my name is Kristen Perkins. I use she, her pronouns. I play the girl who also uses she, her pronouns and is the resident lurk who really wants to go to the Lost District. And after last week and finding a note in Brom's pocket, both Kristen and the girl really want to know what his relationship with the mysterious Ava is. And who Ava might be. I like how we're sort of passing it on the line because I think
that's
Graham's
amazing.
next.
Yeah. Wow. Now you have to say something about Aldo.
Well, believe me, I was going to anyway. So, hi, I'm Graham Ward. Ted, you already know this. I don't know why you're making me say it because you know my information.
Tell me who you are.
My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Brom Borden, the cutter, very sad, slightly depraved man. And let's see, was there anything else? So Brom doesn't care at all, but Graham wants to know about Aldo and what happened to him, why he seems to occasionally reference, or I guess people close to him reference that he shouldn't be alive or that he knows what it is to be dead. I want to know, but I think Brom is like, who gives a shit?
Undoubtedly.
Oh man, is it me now? Because everyone took all the secrets, pretty much.
Yeah, all the secrets are taken.
All the
you have to have a
secrets
secret
are
of
taken.
me.
Oh yeah, I want to know all the things. No, seriously. Oh well, I play Aldo Basran, our leech. He, him. I'm Carson Wright. He, him. All the good stuff. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I was gonna say in the order that they came out, I was like, I want to know about Hicks's weird little connections and backstories. I've been thinking about that pencil snapping since it happened in some vision back in or flashbacky type thing. I've been thinking about all of that stuff, and Ava, for some reason, who I was complaining about not hearing anything about, who's made a return. It's all really, really exciting, honestly. Everybody has these really interesting hooks and backstories, but this isn't a secret so much, but I really want to see Varric and his dad in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, let's see them have a
so much.
combo.
Yes.
Now that we've seen how screwed up the the Loman family is with Letitia last week.
So good.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome.
For sure.
Oh man, yes, it's so fun to explore all this stuff with you, and to have characters who are so resistant to the idea of pushing for anyone's backstory. These people
Yo,
will
everyone's
them
just
alone.
like everyone's too busy trying to keep the skeletons in their own closet. All right.
Yes, exactly.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Oh, I love it. During our last session, we had a long sequence of Varric moments where he got his sister out of prison, and then she extorted him, which was great. We then had him go for a meeting with the White Stag, where she was able to get a sense of his ambitions, and he essentially offered his side business selling Edge, Aldo's product, in exchange for clout with the collective. We then moved on through some more downtime and eventually went on a score to the Famine's Farewell, a large train coming in from the Deathlands, where they sought after Darius and Vivienne Rathsbane, two political fugitive refugees, criminals, hard to tell, who were trying to return to Duskwall, who were kidnapped, and we were all on the train, and we fought these guys, and one of them was a demon, and it was wild, guys. It was totally crazy. You had to be there. But anyway, we'll jump back in at the end of that score. Our show is delivered to you in a grubby brown paper parcel by Ghostlight RPGs, a crew of orphaned urchins bringing the spirit of live theater to tabletop role-playing games. If our underground intelligence pleases you, we invite you to follow us, subscribe, take a look at the Ghostlight RPGs Patreon, just check us out in general, hang out, be with us. Let's have some stories and a good time. Content warning. The Contraband is a crime drama set in a dark and unpleasant city. Episodes will almost certainly contain strong language, brutal violence, and sex. They may also occasionally include human trafficking and implied danger to young children, though we will not depict any violence towards them. Be advised. So, set your oily rag torch alight, pull away the ivy from the stone archway, and descend with us into the Contraband. Brom Borden, you look down at the crushed, pulped, bloody sack of bones and blood that was moments ago the servant of Darius and Vivienne Rathsbane, pooling on the deck of the Orcus Tooth and leaking into the hull of the ship. Vivienne, this older woman, goes to the body and lifts the knife that the servant had brandished from the mess. She turns to her son. "Where did they find the knife, Darius?" He says, "I don't know, Mother, but it's resolved, isn't it? Thanks to our benefactors." And he turns to Brom. You notice, Brom, that Vivienne has neither spoken to you nor looked at you for the entire time, including her being strapped to your back and saved via like zip line off of this train.
It's only fair because I slung her over my back like a suitcase. So.
Yeah, indeed. She looks at her son and says, "Who do they work for? Have they told us?"
And no one's addressing me, right?
Darius looks at you and says, "Yes, who is it that you work for?"
Name's Borden. And I look at the Orcus Tooth, and in a flash of audacity, I say, "We're the Contraband. Better get below." And I start moving below the Orcus Tooth.
All right. They get
Roll credits.
roll credits. We did it.
Go back again. Go back.
They get some bags put over their head. They're taken down below. As you curve up around the canal between Coleridge and Night Market, taking them home, the drop-off point, the stink of trash fires fills your nostrils. At first, you think it might just be that burnt smell that you sometimes get when you step out into the bitter cold for the first time, but it gets worse until the whole crew, you've got Arisha and Jean-Pierre and a couple other of the named Leviathan hunters holding cloths over their nose. There are dozens of people you see on the Coleridge side just sleeping around trash fires. And just a lot of people without homes or places to stay, and none of them notice you or wake up. Are there any interactions you have? You seek out with Darius, Vivienne, Arisha, anyone as you're traveling on Canal Brum?
Yeah, since Darius has directed attention toward me, I'll kind of approach him wherever he is hanging about below decks.
Sure. Yeah, so I think maybe he's in one of the Leviathan tanks. Like you open it up, close it, and then take the sack off of his head. He's like in a chair, like he's not like being held like a prisoner, but he's being kept from those things. He says, yes, Borden it was?
Yeah, Borden, if you please. Now, remind me, is he like a lord or no, just a member of this famous family?
Yeah, the Rathsbanes, are Leviathan hunters. Hem Rathsbane is both he is a Leviathan hunter, he is a noble, and he is a member of the King's Assembly. Darius is an heir of an enormous family. Your original encounter with the Rathsbanes was through their like sort of wayward, sort of foolish son Thurgood, who no one really respects. Darius was the much respected son, but several years ago he and his mother were accused of human sacrifice and exiled from the city.
Falsely accused, I'm sure.
It's falsely accused, if you would say.
Good to have you all back.
Allegations.
Welcome to our fair
Yeah. No evidence.
Allegedly. So, I guess the honorific to use with him would be my lord. Is that fair to say?
Sure, yeah.
My lord, I don't wish to be impertinent, but I have questions about what we just encountered up there. As I've got like a wet rag and I'm cleaning the blood off my, first my knuckles and then move up to my own face.
Yes. With our captors, you mean, or with...
Yes, there was
my mother.
some force, some creature seemed to have possessed one of these foes that we were fighting.
Yes. Well, these things are more common in the Deathlands. They're, some call them spirits, demons, the term that I've heard the most frequently. They're not ghosts, but possess similarly unnatural powers. It seems that the gang that was once the Marrow has become something different and is under new management, one might say.
Well, personally, I hope we don't encounter them ever again. But
That's one would be
I don't
lucky.
quite understand. Granted, my knowledge of these things is limited, but a ghost comes from a corpse. The bloody hell does a demon come from?
That's a good question. Ever since the cracking of the sun and the draining of its light, we have become more aware of things that have lurked there since the beginning. There are things even worse than demons. There are entities, intelligences. I mean, so think of the Leviathans who power our city. Great demons full of rejuvenating and regenerating blood. It is, it's not a friendly world we live in, I think.
What will you do with your freedom, sir?
Well, I've sought it a long time. We did not know that the opportunity would come so soon. We were resigned to living out at least some greater stretch of years. But I suppose that I will return to my father and see what it is that he has need of. I've heard that there are shortages of lightning blood in the city. Perhaps I will be of work with him. But there are other concerns, other threats. I hope I can be of use.
Let's give him a smirk and kind of step out of the room. Not trying to be too obsequious.
Sure.
Brom, kind of tries to, not give any ground in terms of his class.
Great. As you head back up onto the deck, and of course, just a bracing chill as you step out, you're approached by Jean-Pierre, who you've known has joined the crew in the last couple months and has particularly become attached to Hicks. He approaches you and smokes alongside you. He's missing one hand, which you have heard the rumor that he voluntarily cut it off the first time that he saw a Leviathan while he was hunting out in the Void Sea. But he, very casually sets a cigarette and offers you one. Cigarette?
Quietly take it.
He smokes a little bit with you and says, "This pair, they are more dangerous than what we have been transporting heretofore. Did you know this in advance? Did our employers tell you this?"
Yeah.
Do you spend much time anticipating what is to come, Mr. Borden?
No, I don't. I spend about 5 minutes a day thinking about tomorrow, and it's usually right before I go to sleep, if I can.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've heard you do not sleep very well. But this seems in line with what I have seen of you.
Why do you ask?
I do not mean to step beyond my station. I am your employee.
Just out with it. You don't have to bow down to me.
On a Leviathan ship, one must always be anticipating. Because it is always the case that there may be jaws open to devour you, even before you have seen their teeth.
Brom shifts uncomfortably. Don't really have much to say to that.
Yeah. Jean-Pierre, asks you again if there's anything that you need from him, and then heads down below decks, and you finish the delivery.
We don't know much about his background, do we?
Yeah, what you know is that he is from an island north of Severos. So you would know that. He's from an island north of Severos and was raised by Bavarians who sort of colonized and sort of they didn't actively take over a region, but they became such a power in the region that he was essentially raised in Bavaria. So he's got this interesting melange of cultures in his experience, and thus in his way of speech as well. So that's a little bit what you know about Jean-Pierre. The rest of our crew is at Gaddock Rail Station, which is a bright, enormous train station in the middle of Night Market. The train called the Famine's Farewell has slowed to a stop inside the station. Crowds burst off of it, pushed off by bluecoats. Following the noises of combat and chaos on top of the train, several bluecoats are climbing up the sides, examining the marks of something that appears to have happened on board. They're stopping people and questioning them, but all of you have made it away. So Varric and Hicks, you just had a fight in a livestock car with a member of the Marrow, but by the time the Bluecoats came to chase down the dude who was being dragged by a pig, your fine clothes were dusted off and you were walking by without notice, and Aldo and the girl, you were able to get off the train together. So you all emerge into the brightly lit halls of Gaddock Rail Station. Do you meet up? Do you split up as you head home? What's the result? Or the conversations?
I think as the girl is getting off with Aldo, and she has her device, so she presses a button and her black thieves clothes kind of explode outward like the Elsa dress in the Frozen the musical into like a middle class dress. But as she's exiting with Aldo, she'll grab him by the shoulder and say, what the hell was that? That vision, the things.
What vision? What are you talking about?
When you attacked the demon, there was a body in the water, there was a girl, a bloody figure, black hair.
Aldo's face goes like white. What do you mean?
Didn't you see that too?
I always see it. I didn't think anyone else could.
Who's the girl, Aldo? On the boat?
Niece. Anya. She's another victim of this city.
She's dead?
I have not been able to find her. And I looked, tried. I mean, you should know.
I do
Someone
know.
goes missing. A child. He knows what happens.
The city swallows children.
It does. But do you think that is something we can just accept?
I mean, I think it's the fundamental nature of the city. Forgive me, I'm not trying to be insensitive, Aldo. Children go missing all the time. Children are killed all the time. Adults are killed all the time. I don't think you can change that about the city.
What if
I don't know.
could? What if, for instance, we could make some kind of a difference? Maybe not change the whole city, yes, but perhaps this hole that swallows these children, perhaps what if we could do something?
Although the city is full of holes and full of mouths. And they're sort of hustling away from the station. The girl is going to sort of try and maneuver them. What district is the station in? Now that I've printed all the maps.
Night Market. Yes, it's in
Okay.
Night Market.
Sh-
A major
she,
fixture.
she's gonna try and sort of steer him, and I know it's probably a long walk, but towards Silkshore and the Yellow Parrot.
Sure.
As they're kind of hustling away from the crowd.
He seems to be going with you. No prob.
It's also possible that you have an Orca's Tooth meet up after they've dropped off Darius and Vivienne, and you could take the boat out there. Maybe not. Whatever you do.
Yeah.
But that's also
Like the
possible.
boat must be sort of in a canal close-ish by if they dropped off onto the
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah, Darius and Vivienne have been dropped in Night Market, sort of in the northern part. Maybe the boat came back and picked you up. And maybe you got Ferric and Hicks
Sure.
as well if they are interested.
Okay, she'll retconning. She'll start steering them sort of towards the boat.
As we continue walking, did you? I don't really know what or who you are. Mostly, I mean, I know what you told us. I know what I think of you. But I realize I don't really understand, you're very young,
It's true.
and you have many secrets.
Also true.
Did you grow up here?
Yes. Yes, I was one of one of the children that the city tried to swallow many times. Which is more reason why I think it's not. I just don't want to see you wasting your time.
I'm not fucking wasting my time.
Okay. Okay.
Fucking tired of wasting my time. Sorry. You. What you saw in those visions, my failures. Things no one knows, no one has experienced. I'm tired of not having done anything, not having done it right, and now we can do something. The people we work for, they are not who you think.
The people we work for are supporting us, Aldo.
They're
They're offering us a better life.
Better life at what cost? If it is, they are part of this whole. How close to the boat are we?
I've muted myself. You can see it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be short. Let's put it.
I'm sorry about your niece.
Thank you. And I think as we're getting to the boat, he's gonna kind of just let it hang there for a second, before turning around and saying, "You are young. This city, it can still eat you. If not in literally, you can lose your soul here."
I'm more concerned about my belly, my body, and having clothes to wear and food to eat and a place to sleep. I'll leave my soul to you and your religious nonsense.
And he'll make way if you want to pass him.
Yeah, she'll book it to the boat.
You can see Brahm's eyes gleaming and his cigar flare on the deck.
Aldo looks up.
What's Hicks and Varric's conversation like leaving the train station?
You know, Hicks, I'm so glad that went so smoothly. I was worried for a second. I caught the eye of that marrow, and I thought some horrifying ghostly stuff was going to happen, but it was honestly
Yeah, those people were really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not really one to judge, but they were wearing the skins of stinking dead creatures, and there was just something wrong about them.
I mean, I'm glad we got out of there without anything going wrong.
Yeah, nice move with the pig.
Thank you. Well, thank you for leaping into my defense.
I think it was foolish in hindsight. I mean, there was maybe a better way than, stripping down and running at him with a knife.
I mean, look,
but I don't know. I was just in the moment. But I mean, thanks to you, I didn't get hurt at all. Look at me, and I'm just like gleaming. How are you doing? It seems like that guy kind of got in your head a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's we almost died the last time we went out to the Deathlands, and these people have been out there who knows how long. It's just what they must have done to survive, the things they must be capable of. Just glad that's all past us. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
Me too. Let's try to never go to the Deathlands again.
I think it's a good strategy to take.
Throw my arm around you and we walk on down the street to the boat. Friends.
when everyone's on the boat, Brom just says,
Took you long enough.
Hello, Brom. How's it going?
Oh, it's all right. I got 2 fancy ass people dropped off to where they belong. So I
Great.
suppose we're going to get paid.
2 fancy asses, 2 servants, right? That was
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were there
Great.
too.
Great. Awesome that we got their servants. Did they pay us extra for that? I don't know.
No,
They're kind
I
of
think that was part of the
non-entities,
deal, but there is a bit of cleanup on deck.
Okay.
Bit of a
How
look.
does it look at the moment, Brom?
yeah, I mean, pretty much exactly as it was right after it happened. So I'll lead Hicks up specifically.
So
And-
this is like a ball of human meat and clothing and like presumably his wallet's in there. And I mean, I'm not trying to get his wallet, but did I understand what's happening is that this person got like folded in on
crushed.
himself and like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll look at this like fucking like Cronenberg movie prop and I'll just be like, what?
We got on deck and one of the servants had a change of heart.
It was one of the servants, right?
Yes.
He pulled a dagger. I shot him. The other came running at us, and well, the Rathsbanes have their own method of defense, seemingly. He did some dark shit.
My God.
Derek has been following up as soon as he sees the crumpled heap, just like vomits over the sides, and sort of stumbles back down the stairs.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Who did we bring here? I was gonna look up who these people are, but I didn't end up even doing it. I got too busy.
This is when
Who
Oliver
are
comes
they?
out of like a side door with a bucket and a mop.
I think we all bloody noticed that you didn't do your homework on this one, Hicks.
Yeah.
We walked into this completely blind.
Uh-huh.
We're lucky to be alive.
What do you mean?
Great.
Who's-
Well, that bloody demon we saw aboard the train. And apart from that, we landed here on the deck of the ship. And we had some kind of sorcery going on.
Wait, did you just say a demon?
Were you not there? On the
No, I
train?
wasn't there, but I'll assume that you fill me in.
Yeah.
We weren't on top, so we only saw the guy inside, but
Yes. They heard combat of some kind, but that was it.
There was a presence within one of the marrow. Something I have never seen or heard of before. Not a ghost. And I asked Rathsbane about it. He said it was a demon. We fought a demon.
We won.
I don't know if I call it a win, but we escaped.
well, we escaped and we completed the job for what that's worth.
How much money was it again?
It better be worth a lot.
We agreed to pour coin to get ourselves in the good graces. Still
Nice.
discount.
Good grief.
What's the matter, Brom? You lost your nerve or something?
I haven't lost my bloody
I've seen you in the
nerve.
ring with worse than with people I would term a demon. So I don't know what your problem is. Come strapped to a party looking the way you do, indicating your overcoat, with your heavy load, and I'll just be like, "What did you expect? To come play patty cake with the other nobles on the train?"
I expected something I could shoot or punch. I don't know if you know this about me, but I like to study what I fight. And I don't like walking in without information. I don't like having to shoot off the hip. Not at work, not on the job.
this is like Aldo cleans up this mess and stands up and says, well, that's not Hicks's fault, is it? The fucking collective's fault. We only have the information they gave us, right?
Yeah, right. Not Hicks's fault, right. I mean, I'm willing to take a little bit of responsibility in this. I could have, I mean, you know, the collective aren't my only, you know, the collective and children are not my only avenues of information. I could have like done a little bit of searching, but what is this like shit show that these people sent us into without any sort of warning?
We don't know that they knew anything about demons.
It seems like they gave us the information that we needed to have. We completed the job, didn't we?
Okay, well, we'll perhaps discuss it with them.
What I don't like is us taking their word for it entirely and not doing our own legwork.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Brom.
And I had a bad night last night. So I admit, it caught me flat-footed. It's not going to happen again.
I'll put my cigar out onto the rail of the ship.
The girl's
Well,
gonna walk across with a bottle of beer and hand it to Aldo and take the mop from him without saying anything and probably without looking him in the eye and finish the cleanup.
What do you do? Do you like roll this like ball of person meat
Yeah.
like
Like,
off into the
kinda
canal.
kicking it with,
Yeah,
like
no,
your-
absolutely.
There are worse
Like a
things in the
dust
canal.
Bucket it over to the side of the canal and just go.
like super meat boy? This-
If there's anything interesting in it, it'll probably pick at it like anything
Oh.
shiny, but not like
I'm-
looking for stuff.
you can
but
do
it's-
that. I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
there for
it's-
that.
Yeah, these people were servants out in the Deathlands for 4 years. They don't have anything. It's just like ratty clothes. They smell
can't-
nasty.
There's no glands intact.
Oh gosh. I didn't
No,
think of that
no.
anatomically.
It seems
probably not-
ruptured.
Yeah, not super salvageable. Yeah.
All right. fine.
Then how old
yeah.
how old is Darius? Would Varric have known him at all?
Yeah, he's a few years older than Varric.
How many years older than Varric?
5? I think that's
Okay,
reasonable.
okay,
How old
cool.
is Varric officially?
Good question.
You tell the people.
I believe it was like 24, 25.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right because I think
Yeah.
Hicks was 10 years older, and then Brom was like 10 years older than Hicks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And then the girl is 20. So yeah. So we'll finish unless there's any other moments on the Orca's Tooth. I think everybody gets home. Brom, you get told by Arisha when you get back to the Magnolia. She says, "Listen, we're a little bit of that mess came through, and you're in the lower decks, and you see that like blood is like seeping down the walls of the Orca's Tooth." And she says, "So that's its own issue we'll solve, but the other problem is, we just want to do some sort of routine maintenance on it. It's the kind of thing we would have done back on the ship. So if you could actually not sleep on the Tooth for the next few nights, it'd be a big convenience to us."
Just silently walk over, grab my coat, grab a jug of some drink that I've been nursing, and walk off. Yeah, wordlessly.
Yep. She said, "We'll let you know when it's ready. Sure, you got a place, so." The payout from this
Wow.
score, you receive as promised 4 coin from the collective, and we're going. The crew now has the yellow parrot, which is generating profit. So from last score and this score together, it's going to be 2. It's going to be 2 coin per score, but we're going to count last score as well. So we're going to additional 4. So that's 8 coin. Boom, that floods into your accounts. How do you distribute that? Does that go into the vaults? Does that go to people? How are you doing it?
Let's put it in our pockets.
Yeah.
So
Let's give Brom a little extra for hazard pay. It'd be, you can go see a fancy doctor. I mean,
could use
you
that.
can have a little extra too. I'll take less. It seems like we can each. I mean, we can't each have 2. I'll take 1.
I'll take 2.
as everyone knows, I have plenty of money, so I'll take 1 only.
So that's
take-
4. Why don't Brom and
one.
Aldo? Why don't you take 2 apiece then?
Oh
Great.
my gosh, I will accept.
That brings my stash to 10 and the
Oh my
first
gosh.
level.
Oh my
So
gosh! So you
Brom
now
can
have-
buy a second outfit now.
Wow.
Amazing.
and shoes that are whole up on the bottom.
He's
a
got
place to
boots that he
sleep.
wears at work.
That's
Oh
true.
my gosh.
Yeah, he's got them. Varric, given your deal with the collective, I assume that the 2 coins from your special ability are out. That was
I
the
get this
deal
at
you
the I
made.
get this at the end of downtime. So
Oh, okay, I see. So not yet. Great.
Technically, it's-
Also,
it's
okay,
2
go-
coin to the stash, so they're only getting 1 coin.
Sure. Okay, great. That's good to know. And then also you get when you get home, Varric, you find a little package. It has return postage on it, and it just says, "To our partnership."
Open that up.
And it's empty. That's Letitia wanting you to send her a coin.
Love her.
I'm gonna toss it in a corner for now.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, don't pay
Yeah.
her.
The rest of the payout, I'm thinking from that score 3 heat, which is between contained and loud. Oh no, am I still on? Did I freeze?
Yeah, you're good.
You're
good.
on.
Okay, good. Yeah. So 3 heat. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I will give everyone some rumors. Welcome back to Duskfall. Welcome back to daily life. As you are all in the boat coming back in, out in the cold or inside the Orcus Tooth, snow begins to fall, and it continues to fall through the night and the next day, to the point where there are 8 inches of snow that fall over Duskfall. Everything is just absolutely covered. It's kind of beautiful, and it gets nasty real fast. Bless you, Graham. Even if you tried to hide
Stealth
it,
sneeze.
Still, yeah, it's good. That's real good. So first rumor is snowy. Second rumor, dog racing continues in Night Market. There are 3 major dogs who people are excited about. Demetrius is an extremely friendly Saluki owned by a Night Market couple. His Majesty is a greyhound owned by a Brightstone noble. And Mudsnout, a Bavarian short-haired pointer, is owned by the Crows. So these dogs are doing well generally in the dog
This guy
races.
named his dog His Majesty. It's like a relationship with this animal, like
Brom, you hear that Judas Pickett, the stocky Taikarosi pugilist, won in his quarterfinal match of the Mudfire Crown against a Docker woman named Sandrine Lapoile. A crowd had gathered to protest Pickett's involvement in the crown, given rumors of foul play and the deaths of several of his former match mates. She, Lapoile, gave him a run for his money, nearly knocking him out. The fight went on about 3 times as long as any of his previous fights had, and when he finally won, he leered smugly at the protesters who continued to boo him. Sandrine was unconscious, but woke soon after and has seen no adverse effects in the interim, and Pickett left soon after the fight. The office of Robert Boom, Char Hollow Assemblyman, has been inundated over the last weeks with mothers and fathers from Char Hollow, 10 on, the last week, singular, 10 on average, but as many as 30, waiting all day outside to speak to him. Children, specifically teenage girls, have been going missing from Duskfall's poorest district, or so these parents claim. Boom has been heard declaring, "I'm not a police force, nor am I an expert on elopements," but has been kept from many of his other meetings by these parents, who are blockading the door into his office and refusing to let others reach him until he addresses their concerns. The winter solstice is coming, and with it, great and small prepare for the Feast of Impenetrable Darkness, a traditional banquet that has been practiced for centuries in Duskfall. In this specific event, the host begins their house lit at 1/3 of its original capacity, quite dimly, and through the night at regular intervals, candles are extinguished. Once the guests are seated to eat, the last candles are extinguished, and the guests eat in complete darkness. Following this, there is a period of about a half hour of darkness. The host relights a single candle until by the end of the night, it returns to the original 1/3 of original lighting.
God.
The
What's the vibe like Is it a celebration or is it like? It sounds somber as fuck. But I mean, if I grew up doing it, then I grew up doing it.
Yeah, it's it has like some somber religious undertones because it was instituted at the time that the breaking occurred. It used to be like a really bright festival before the breaking, and then they were like, well, no, this doesn't match anymore, let's make it really depressing. But then following that, it's become known for being for a lot of these parties being very lewd and having lots of sex involved.
Like a certain
Like-
noble
Like
sex club.
sex and food.
Yeah, sex and
It's
food,
like,
yeah.
and then everyone eats in the dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot
Fun
of a
time.
lot of it is like secrets. Like secretive things are often happening at the feast. So yeah, it's very a lot of mysteries, a lot of romance novels feature it.
It's like
Good thing
More
I
honored
have
in the
friends.
observance than the breach, in other words.
better
This
joke than
sounds
mine. I'm
silly.
gonna leave yours. In the air there.
Also, in relation to this, there are many banquets that are being held both privately and large hosted galas. You hear of a larger one that will be held at the Queensdown Manor in a few weeks. Leviathan oil shortages have led to announcements from the assembly that certain neighborhoods in Char Hollow, Six Towers, and Silkshore will have their electroplasmic power extinguished in erratic patterns over the next month. The assembly declares the walls of the city will continue to burn bright, but this doesn't account for the hundreds of unchecked ghosts that wander the rivers and might be drawn to these unprotected neighborhoods during these shortages. The rehearsals for the Duskfall Ballet have been put on hold due to injury. Producers have used this as an opportunity to promote the rigorous requirements of the choreography and urged people to buy more tickets. More auditions are being held in night markets. Hicks's kids bring news.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, just call them something else because they're not like my progeny. I just want to clarify, they're not my progeny nor my responsibility. They are
Yes, indeed.
associates of mine.
Yes. The Hicks Templeton Information Network returns with information about. They give the general impression that they have discovered on their own 55 unique dead bodies in the snow that have happened since the snow started falling a few days ago. Frozen to death in doorways, murdered in gang spats, found dead and bloody in canals or in sewage tunnels. One of
those, a
the
ball of like human just floating in the canal.
yes, indeed, yeah.
Hopefully the children didn't find that one.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think Aldo took it home. Like, I think Aldo put a leash on it and dragged it through the street.
Oh my gosh. One of the conflicts that resulted in these deaths was an enormous four-way gang brawl that took place in Crow's Foot over the last week. An entirely wooden church in the center of Crow's Foot, which is called the Crossroads Chapel, has become a hotly contested piece of turf in the war for Crow's Foot. Pascal and his lieutenants were driven out recently by two gangs, a group of disaffected construction workers who call themselves the Bricklayers, and a crew of thieves calling themselves the Spiders. Then a final rumor. In another echo of the ineffectual law enforcement and growing crime rates, 2 inspectors were killed on duty in 6 Towers. Details were not given in the press release about the substance of their investigation, but Silas Ward used it as more evidence to voice to the assembly that the inspectors are underfunded. So those are our very not depressing at all rumors about the current state of Duskfall.
Been a hard winter in Duskfall.
Yeesh.
Dog racing's going well though.
Pretty good. See His
And
Majesty.
we get our sex party. Our sex party that's called Impenetrable. Described as impenetrable. Well, we'll see.
Thank you.
Not at Hicks's house. Sorry.
No.
This time
Carson made the same joke to me on the phone when I told him about this idea earlier, and I said, I'm not going to change that.
Great. Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to embrace it and let it happen.
It's tongue in cheek at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're now in downtime. You can do downtime activities as you wish. I want to early on maybe jump in with something Varric and Aldo, which is that soon after, a new individual shows up at the laboratory. Varric, are you there to lead this person there, or do they come there on their own?
I don't know. I think it might be somewhat interesting if they come there on their own initially, and Varric shows up.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so Aldo, you show up in the lab one day to find a person there. This person is tall, dark-skinned, thin. Their sleeves are rolled up, and their arms are pretty muscular. They got a ponytail pulled back, really good jawline, clear blue eyes, with a little eyeshadow. Their clothes are very wealthy, and they introduce themselves and say, "Good afternoon, I'm Morgan Barrister."
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm the new assistant sent to help with the lab. Yes.
The new what?
Sorry. You're Aldo Basran? Am I correct?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
sorry.
Aldo
You're
Basran.
Aldo.
This
She
is
wouldn't know the first name. She
Okay.
wouldn't have the last name.
Yes, that is right. This is my lab. Is there something I can help you with? Are you?
Oh, goodness gracious! I'm so sorry to have stepped in. Perhaps I've missed some communication. I'm associate of your friend Varric.
Excuse me. He turns out and he walks. He's gonna go right upstairs. Is what's her name there? Oyun working?
Oyun.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like chilling. It's the afternoon.
Great.
It's tea.
She's busy. I think he's.
Yeah,
gonna
she's
go looking for her.
unoccupied.
Excuse me, pardon me, Oyun. Do you know where where Varric is?
Hello, Aldo. He's not here. He does not work here.
Where can I find him?
Sorry, I don't. At the flat in Charter Hall. You've been there, I assume.
Thank you. And he's gonna take off. Sorry,
Will
Oyun.
he get all the way there?
Sorry, just
Jamie, how will that work?
I think actually it might be interesting if kind of as you're leaving,
Yeah.
Varric is arriving at the Queen's of Magnolia. Sort
Okay.
of, would Varric have received word that Morgan was coming, or
Sorry, repeat the question.
would Varric have received know
Yes.
that Morgan's met? Yeah,
Yes.
so
yeah.
Varric's sort of on his way to meet them. Introduce
Great.
them, and kind of
Cool.
yeah.
fantastic. He's gonna walk out the door basically into you then.
Yeah,
Oh.
nice.
Aldo, just the man I was looking for.
Yes. Who the fuck is downstairs?
They're here already. Well,
You know
So-
about this?
yes. Aldo. Now, remember, we had a conversation
Yes,
about.
we did have a conversation. I told you I was going to do it. I'm fine. I can make it myself.
I understand that.
You see, with the fucking collective,
Look, they're just someone who's here to listen. We need to expand, all right? There's no point in spinning our wheels with this process, okay? The gang war is heating up, the Mudfire Crown is going. We need more product out there, and
we have
You're just-
enough. I mean, literally, we have enough.
Aldo, look. I don't have enough. This is embarrassing, but I'm being blackmailed by my sister. And I need extra coin, and that is the only reason that I have found this person. And just work with them, please, for me, as a favor. This has nothing to do with the collective, I swear.
You hear the machinery in the lab start up.
Excuse me. And he's gonna start walking straight down in there, and he's messing with it.
Varric's following.
The Morgan is by the time you get down, Morgan sort of reaches up. They've got a sort of somewhat broken mug, and they say coffee, and they realize they've been making coffee using the machinery in the lab.
What are you doing?
You've just got a wonderful setup down here. I was just sort of exploring what was possible. I made sure to only localize any effect here. So yes, I just wanted to get a sense of it. It's really quite impressive. I'm very sorry if I've done something I shouldn't have done.
You, these.
Varric's going to appear behind. Ah, hello there.
Varric, yes.
Yes,
So
you
good
must
to
be-
see you again.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad you found the place
pleasure.
all right. Excellent. You've figured out how some things work.
Yes, it's so impressive. Listen, I realize, Aldo, I didn't give you my credentials before. I should have begun with that. I'm very sorry. But I studied under Pavel Gravure, who you certainly know, obviously. He's the Bavarian Sparkwright responsible for inventing the low-cost, high-speed gate for lightning walls, which allows trains to pass through. I also spent some time as an apprentice to a chemist with some less than legal substances. So I have a bit of experience on both sides of the tracks. I thought it might be applicable to your work, which is why I was interested in Varric's offer.
It turns to Aldo in the middle of the, Aldo turns to Varric in the middle of that, and he's like, "Where did you find him? Connections? What connections do you have?"
They're from a similar background to me.
Oh,
and
we grew up in Brightstone together. Oh, I was a little bit younger than Varric, but knew him at school. So yes.
they can help. Right? You two are going to get along so well, I can tell. It's kind of looking at Aldo like, just come on.
Fine.
Excellent.
I guess they can help.
Right. Well, Aldo, do you have anything to say to get things started? Any
He's just
materials?
like starts working on something by himself.
As Aldo steps past, Morgan looks to Varric with a sort of wry smile, like very, not just like the nervousness of someone who's like bothered by this, but someone who's really going with the flow. And they give you a wink.
Thank you. Thanks for the coffee. As Varric sort of takes it, he's going to reach into his coat and like hand over the sheets of paper that he took from Aldo last time, like palm them to Morgan, like as he shakes their hand. Like, I'm
Right.
sure you'll pick it up really very quickly.
Well, I'm looking forward to learning. It's quite an interesting product.
Slosh his coffee's out.
And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you need to just keep me posted about how things are going.
Wonderful. Thank you, Varric. And Morgan turns and begins to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of say to Aldo's back. And thanks, Aldo, for being so accommodating.
No response.
After Varric steps out, Morgan, sort of confidentially sounding to Aldo, says, "Listen, I know what it's like to have a boss who doesn't think you could do your job. If all that you want
He's
me
not
for
my
is..."
boss.
I'm sorry. I've put my foot in my mouth again. Anyway, what I was saying is, I will be of as I would like to be as helpful as I can. You let me know what I can do.
Hands him a broom.
Great.
You can start in that room.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
Some of the
takes the broom.
rats' shit has been getting onto the floor.
Great. And Morgan gets to work sweeping.
Oh,
yeah, the
I
next few
found
days.
my punching bag. Very good.
Oh no.
It's gonna be great for Eckerd.
Your highly overqualified punching bag.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna go well, but hey.
So Morgan's at work. I don't know if others might see them as they interact, but as they're working in the lab, if the people stop by.
One more thing, just as he.
Yeah, please.
As Aldo hands them the broom, and they go out, he's gonna call out. And don't use my stuff to make coffee.
Understood. My apologies. Yeah. Goes and. All right. So we're now in downtime. Who wants to do some downtime activities?
Freaking notes back in.
So good.
You're not going to help them. They need some.
I think I'll work on my long-term project of figuring out building this collective dossier so that I know
Yes.
just who these people are.
Yeah,
So I
let's
think
get
I'll
the,
go.
Let's get the roll out of the way. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying where you're going to be going.
It's all right. Let's just get the roll out of the way. What am I rolling? I think I want to roll hunt.
Great.
Does that work? Or would study or
Yes.
survey just be better?
No, both of those will work. All of those will work at equal effectiveness. Just, yeah.
4.
Okay. So, tell me how you're going about this. So this is pretty successful. We're going to put 2 more ticks in it. So that's 5 out of 8 in the collective dossier. This is more assignments to children. So I'm going to give them the information they get back to you. Are you going out on your own after that or sending them out again? What's the plan?
I think I want to meet up with the kiddos. It's been about a week or so since I took them some grub. So I think I'll go to the Yellow Parrot, and I mean, anyone who wants to join me to feed the children, you're welcome to go with me. I assume that Jean-Pierre is like driving the cart that has this huge like hot stew pot in the back or something, and we're
Totally. Yeah, with one hand, and he's got his he's actually driving mostly with his arm that does not have a hand. Just uses
Nice.
studying a little bit.
Aldo won't go with you, but if given the invitation, he'll send you with 1 bullet to give it to Ruda.
Sorry, you want me to give this bullet to a child?
Yes, it's for her. I taught her a little magic, and he does it for him.
That's the sort of magic you do with these bullets, huh?
Oh, that was so good. I had nothing for that.
Yep.
He just shrugs and goes, "Will you give it to her?"
Give it to her yourself. If you want her to have it. I mean, I don't want to get caught up in your fucking game with a child.
What game? What game are you talking about?
Why are you?
made
I don't
one friend.
understand. I don't need to be. I'm not accusing you of anything. I just don't need to be in on your inside jokes with some kind of kid about having to do with bullet magic.
It's just close up. Look, you could do it with a coin. You could do it with this bottle cap.
Do you want to come with me or not? This thing's heavy.
Fine.
Great.
All right. So the 2 of you head same factory, or maybe like in the shadow of like a big steamship that's like got big billowing leftover steam sort of pouring out of it. They're like sitting on the docks kicking their feet.
I mean, I think we'd probably go to the same place every week, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's great. Yeah. So back
just
at
so
the
that the
factory.
people know, you know.
Yeah.
We're trying to build
Yep.
a relationship in the community. So,
Yeah.
great.
So the kids are pretty eager when you get back. You get a bunch of the rumors we just talked about, but you also get a lot of other information. There's a kid named Windows who is called that because he has glasses which are 2 broken panes of glass, which are just like tied up with like weird wire.
What a dork. Love you, Windows.
But, so it takes a while to piece together all the information from the kids because there's like a dozen of them who give you information. They've been really thorough. They worked in
Hey.
teams to watch the entrances of the Heron's Roost, which is the collective's center of operations, through the night for several days in a row. They scratched together a couple of documents with old paper and charcoal, and they tracked people wearing black coats who looked like they might be field agents of the collective, following their movements in and out of the Heron's Roost. They know that there are clearly a lot of regular jobs, shipments, escorts, patrols. The kids couldn't keep track of how many. One kid said there were 50, another said there were 100. There's 200 people in the collective, and I was like, no, you fool. They're all just arguing with each other. They mentioned that the White Stag always has at least 4 bodyguards on her when she leaves, and Shiloh, who you met during the Orca in the ice job, the Orc's Tooth in the ice job. He is almost always with her. 9 times out of 10, he was in the retinue with the White Stag. The collective is also very timely. A kid named Baldy, who has that name for a reason that one might suppose, borrowed a pocket watch, which he showed you to confirm it, even though it's a pocket watch and just shows the time. But he was like, see, they were on time. Very regular. Then
The watch isn't broken.
Oh no, I paused the recording for some reason. Sorry. The watch is not broken. It is workable. The most interesting bit of information as to the Heron's Roost and the schedule is this: the kids have a theory that there are 3 types of collective employees. The first are normal working folk: cooks and servers, hosts, maintenance, organizers, drivers, decorators, musicians, card sharps, etc. The second seem to be agents, who are those with the jobs that don't have obvious titles. These are people like Casimir, like Shiloh, like Eckert, who have the skills to do a number of things, and they're often doing stuff outside. And there's also a third group, a subset of the agents. When a bunch of these people go home, these agents stick around. They head off for other jobs at 2 a.m. In some cases, they stay at the Heron's Roost all night, or at least they never leave. And then like they're seen coming back later, though they're never seen to leave. So the kids theorize, or at least Windows theorizes, they've got another operation going. That's what I think. They must be doing something else.
That's what you
And
think
another
on
kid
Windows.
says, yeah, another kid goes, I think they have a zoo.
Zoom. What makes you say that?
Yeah, because they got birds and the dog races happen there. And also there are leviathans. And they're like, there's no leviathans. What are you talking about? He's like, there are leviathans in the Void Sea. Maybe they're going to get one for a zoo. It's like, if you don't know how big a leviathan is, you idiot.
Right.
It continues in this vein.
I witness them. I give them my full attention.
So that's a lot of information that you get. Another interesting thing that's like not a huge deal. There's a bunch of kids sort of come and go. Tulip is not here.
Okay.
She was part of she was part of the record keeping group. But Windows is like, oh yeah, I was with her, and yeah, she went after the other guy that you wanted to look for, and I mean, I'm sure she'll be back. Yeah.
When's the last time anybody's seen her?
The kids sort of start trying to like piece together their narrative a little bit, and
I'm like pointing to him. You?
Jen's like,
How about you? You
I
haven't
don't
said
know.
anything. When's the last time you saw Tulip?
I saw someone wearing a hat like her in Charhala Market. And then
What was it? Her? Yeah, it's Cetera.
Yes.
Okay.
And it basically the estimate becomes like 2 days ago, and that's the time Windows saw her last.
Wow. Fuck. Okay, and this is weird that she wouldn't be showing up to the food thing.
There's a lot of the kids are pretty inconsistent, but Jean-Pierre points out that is not in Philip's character to be.
No, she'd be here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll keep our eye out for Tulip. Okay, I'm gonna try to commission some of these kids to go find Tulip to keep their eyes
Okay.
peeled. Everybody, keep your eyes peeled for Tulip. Okay.
Tulip.
You can't trust any of these goddamn cops to look after you. You can't trust any of the inspectors or anyone who's dressed in nice clothing to look after you. All y'all got to look after each other. You don't got no parents.
Yeah.
All you got is each other, okay? So you got to
Yeah, we
stick
know.
together, okay? So don't let anyone get lost.
Windows says, Hicks, you got a knife or anything? There were a couple. I've seen some other boys, a little older than us. Still, types like us. But I've just been seeing them around the Heron's Tooth, around other places, keeping an eye on us.
All right. Don't do anything. Oh, fuck. I'll like pull out a knife, kind of a nice looking knife, my knife. This one that I tried to kill this marrow member with, it's kind of like long. Just like, okay, this is sharp. Do you know why it's sharp?
Yeah.
Because it cuts people. Okay? And if I'm going to give this to you, I need you to understand that that's why I made it this sharp.
Yeah, I get it.
Is that what you want to do with this?
We just want to be safe, you know. That's all.
Okay.
That other guy, over him, it points at Aldo. He says we got to be watching out. It took Daruda about it. It says things are getting dangerous. You know it is.
Yeah, it's good advice. All right, well, I'm going to give you this knife, and I feel like it's my responsibility as someone who's given you a knife to tell you that this doesn't mean that you should go looking for a fight.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything that's going to put you in danger, and if you feel like you're in danger doing anything that I've asked you to do, don't do it. Turn around and go the other way, because it's
All right.
just not worth it.
All right.
But I'll give you this knife.
Okay.
But be responsible. I mean, as much of any of us can be on these mean old streets.
Yeah. We'll find her.
Okay, find Tulip. Find her.
All right.
You've eaten, go. Go find her.
Yeah, runs off. Yep.
Turn to Aldo. I'll just be like, do you hear that?
Yeah, I did. It's not good, Hicks.
Why? Why do you say? I mean, yeah, obviously it's not fucking good, but I feel like you are keeping secrets from me. I don't like that. I feel like you have this beef, and you're not telling anybody about it. And I know it's your personal shit, and I don't want to be like forcing my way into it, but it just seems like you know something that's just like driving you nuts, and you're not being clear about it. And I can't read your mind. So if you I mean, I'm your friend. Anything that you want to say, I am here. And I take you seriously, all right?
I appreciate that very much. And, yeah, something is wrong with this collective. I don't know if you felt it, or what you know, or what you found. But some of these people, they're the ones who do this. Kids go missing. Tulip, maybe?
You think it's the collective that is doing this, the organization that we're working for?
If not the organization, I have an idea of who.
Who?
The one in the fox. And he's, I don't know what to call him. Casimir, the one with the dog. I've seen them in my visions.
You've seen them doing what?
Taking children, hurting them. If it's not them, then they're connected in some way. But they seem untouchable. Honestly, you've seen the collective. with their resources and their connections and their... It's fucking depressing.
Although nobody is untouchable. Okay, so get that out of your head, because you can do anything. We can do it. What do you want? I mean, what do we do? I mean, how do we follow this up? This is like a vision that you had?
Yes, I mean, among other things, I've done some research. I've been doing what I can. Brom won't fucking help me. None of them will. You're serious? You would help?
Are you? I mean, if you're telling me that two of these people who we are working for are abducting children, yeah, yeah.
And he's gonna just like hug you. Pretty for a moment before pulling away. I want to fucking kill them, Hicks, and I need you to help me do it.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's put our notes together and figure out what it is that we know, and then let's put a plan together and do something about it.
Gladly. I'll bring it over tonight.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's cut the freaking montage here or whatever.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, unless there's more to have in that conversation, I'm not trying to cut it off. No, great. Let's.
I do
let's
give a
take...
bullet to Ruda, okay?
Yeah. Let's take a few minutes. We're gonna take a bio break, and then we're gonna come back. That feels like a good moment of high tension. Very excited. So we'll take a break. We'll just be back in a couple minutes. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be back very soon. Goodbye. Welcome back. We're here. You'll notice that I have put on these dumb headphones because I can't. Sometimes people are cutting out, and hearing my friends is more important than my appearance.
You're embarrassing to me.
I'm embarrassing. I'm an embarrassing.
you look
dad.
I think you look better like this.
Get those dumb ears
Better.
covered.
Less of your face. Get my Yoda ears out of here. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Ted, you're
Are we back in? Is my time lag that long on the stream?
It's a pretty long lag tonight. I don't
Yeah.
know. So those.
Oh,
of you
amazing!
following
Cool,
along-
great. Then we're back. Yeah, thanks. Okay,
The
so
long twitch.
we'll head back into downtime activities. Who's going next? What's happening?
I'll go ahead. And the girl, probably on like the next day after their score, she's going to head over to Six Towers District and find Batilde and Daniel, sort of go up into the apartment, knock
Okay.
on the door, let herself in.
Yeah, so the as you get there, this is a like pretty rundown basement flat in Six Towers. When you knock at the door, you hear a commotion. There's some chairs groaning, and this little creature. And the little as you open the door, the little dog Bluey leaps up. His leaps are about 3 times his own height. Yeah, Bluey sort of nips at you, and like he's the kind of dog who will, if you don't allow them, if you don't get close enough for them to actually lick you, they will just lick the air. They'll just sort of go in the air. I don't know if you've ever encountered a dog that does that. People at home taught used to have a dog that did that. So then Bluey will do that, and 2 other people come to the door, Daniel and Batilde. Would you describe Daniel and Batilde for us?
Sure. So they're both obviously like quite poor. Their clothes are very run down. They maybe even are a little dirty, like they haven't had the money or time to shower recently.
Yeah.
Batilde is a larger woman, has a kind of matronly air about her, but is sort of always like flitty, like she doesn't know exactly where she is. Daniel has a quite serious wound on his head. Like it's an old wound, but it is still like apparent. Like maybe even the skull is a little dented, and the hair hasn't grown back. Perhaps he was hit very seriously in the head, and he's sort of stooped and shuffling. He's not even that old, but he
yeah, maybe his 40s.
yeah, but he sort of doesn't move very well, and his cognition is lags a little bit.
Yeah. So Batilde goes, "Oh, dearie," and Daniel smiles as jovially as he can. There's a bit of a strain on his face, and he says, "Come in. Oh,
Sure.
let
Yes, of
me
course.
hug you." And he embraces you so tightly and goes,
Oh.
You come too rarely. You come too rarely."
I know. I'm sorry I haven't been visiting more. You still have
No,
the
no.
dog, I see.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. No, don't worry about him. He just misses you, but we're so glad to see you, and we know you're very busy. We have some dinner. Would you like some?
Sure. I have something to show you, but I suppose it can wait till after dinner.
Oh, the dinner's already somewhat cold. We just finished it. Come on, sit down. They sit around the table under the single bulb, yeah, they sort of wait expectantly.
I'm sorry I haven't been visiting very much. As you know, I've taken over. Well, I am the main person running. A group has taken over the group I work for, the Yellow Parrot, in Silk Shoal. We have posters up now. I don't know if you've seen them. Probably not in this district, but maybe.
Yeah, we don't see many posters for restaurants around here.
Right, of course not.
But
Well, I
that's-
just
that's
thought
so wonderful.
it is.
Yes.
And it's allowed me to make a little more coin, and I thought, I wonder, would you like to take a walk with me?
Sure. Daniel says, "We walking very far."
It's a little bit of a far Well, just the canal. Let's get a ferry.
A ferry. All right. Okay. Do you need my parasol?
Sure, it might snow.
Okay. So she brings her parasol, and Daniel sort of shuffles. He's got his slippers on, and there's a part where Batil goes, "Oh, we got to get his boots on. We got to get his boots." And the dog's like yapping around his heel. So eventually, you're able to get them out of the house, down into the canal, onto a boat. You're able to move them a bit.
Yeah, and we'll take the boat all the way to Silk Shore. Sort of close to the Yellow Parrot, but not that close.
Sure.
One of the neighboring
Yeah.
districts, and I've secured a place here, so I'm going to lead them up to a new apartment, and sort of make a show of the keys, like.
Yeah, and I think that at first they don't realize what's happening. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you've got yourself a new place," and Daniel says, "It's very nice. It's very far from us, though. Very far."
Yes. Well, you see, I'm still in the flat above the Yellow Parrot. I like it there. It's close
Then what
to
do you
work
need
and-
this for?
Well, I thought this could be for you two, for you three. I have the money, and it's closer to where I live, and it's a nicer neighborhood, just barely, but it's rapidly improving, gentrifying, you might say.
Daniel looks around at the place and at you with tears in his eyes, and just shuffles over to you and embraces you.
I want you to be close, and I want you to be safe, and you took care of me. I'm alive because of you, and I'm reminded that not everyone survives this city.
It's us who's alive because of you, dearie. If you hadn't gotten Daniel out of there, that horrible woman, and she hadn't helped me at the orphanage, this can't be. It's very nice, but it's all for show, isn't it? It's just like you're just renting it out.
No, I have money now. I really do. The Yellow Parrot is making money, and I'm working for some people, and they're giving us lots of coin, and it makes it worth it, really. I want you to have this. You deserve this. I have 2 sets of keys, and she'll sort of start. She's a little embarrassed by the whole procedure and the emotions of it, so she's going to start kind of like working through the logistics. Like, well, here are the keys, and here's the deed, and we can sort out how to get your stuff here in the morning. I thought, all of the logistics are coming into play.
Yeah, and Daniel sort of still he takes a little bit longer to piece through it and to understand the full ramifications, though he understands that this is a gesture of extreme generosity and kindness. And eventually he's sort of looking around. He walks to the window, and there's a window that like it's daytime, and you can see the sea and the void sea, like, and it's like, in as much as Duskwall can be, it's actually beautiful. And he goes, where will your bed be?
I'll still be at the Yellow Parrot. It's close. I can show you. We can walk over there.
You said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm 20 now. I'm an adult, Daniel.
You're a grown woman.
Yes.
Grown woman. Yes, it's true. Yes.
There'll be a bed full. I love you too. Except the dog. The dog is just fine.
He's just sprinting around, hopping on top of windowsills, and then becoming too frightened to get off of them, so people have to go over and help it off of the windowsill every time. Yeah.
So this is me relieving stress now.
All right.
So
It's
I'll
the
roll.
obligation vice. Yeah.
Yes, my vice has changed, and I'll roll for relieving stress.
Yeah. Roll with your highest the lowest attribute.
Yeah. 3. Oh, that's a 4.
Okay. So you can relieve 4 stress. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And she's gonna sort of help with all the logistics and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, they start getting moved in, and she's like, "Dearie, Jilly, you must come back for dinner. We'll have you every week. It'll be like old times, but better even."
and you can come to the Yellow Parrot. We have a new cook, Finette. She's very, very good. And
Oh,
a charity table. I mean, a table that you could sit at and be comfortable.
all right. Well, love to get some nicer clothes. I don't know if, well, we'll just get these washed. That's what we'll do for now. Thank you, dearie.
Of course. And she's leaving,
Yeah.
uncomfortable with all the emotion.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. What depressing shit do you guys all have to do? No. Hit me. One second.
That's
Hit me.
set up. Over
Yeah.
to Brom Borden.
That was my cue. Brom is going to look up. I assume that I have a way to look up a one Wilhelmina Grackle.
You certainly do. She is an extremely reputable physician at the University of Churral, yeah.
Okay, so I'll put on my new suit that I've got from having
Up to your stash, yeah.
cleared 10 coin,
Uh-huh.
and I'll stroll in if possible. If I need to like loiter around until I can catch her, what I'm trying to do is get her attention without being like incredibly rude about it.
Sure. Yeah, it ends up getting to she's lecturing during the day, and you might even sneak into a lecture. Then you
Great.
see a stooped small woman with short gray hair who leads a lecture, and she's sort of soft-spoken, but a keen instructor, very, very quick, and her students are responsive to her, and she's able to field questions very well. It's not like everyone sits quietly. She's very actively engaging with all of them, and they're discussing all the different, specifically like the skeletal structure and skeletal fractures. She's at the end of the lecture, a couple of students come up to her and talking with her, and she says, "Oh yes, all right. Come to me in my office hours. All right. Well, yes. Well, okay. Get on your way." And they're like, "Thank you, Professor Grackle," and everyone's like very, very appreciative of her and very respectful of her. And eventually, she is packing up her things, and you see her sort of catching your eye.
Yeah, and I'm just standing in a dark overcoat with a fairly nice suit on underneath it, just standing right next to the doorway in the back row.
Mm-hmm. And she says, "Well, are you gonna come down, or am I going to come up there?"
Well, I didn't wish to intrude upon your lecture time.
Oh no problem. I've done for the day.
How are you, Dr. Grackle?
I'm doing very well. We do know each other, but I'm trying to place from where.
You were sent to me once by an anonymous benefactor, and you were able to help with medical needs. Your lecture was on fractures. I may have need of a little assistance. If you can spare the office hours,
And I'll unbutton my waistcoat, and underneath I can show. Let's see. So my specific harm, I've got sprained fingers and fatigue, but I imagine that from my fatigue, Brahm's just like looking kind of bruised and battered all
yeah.
over. So I'll maybe there's like a particularly bad bruise somewhere, and I'll kind of like show, and then say,
I don't have a lot of places to go right now.
Mm.
And I know that you were very kind with your attention.
Yes, well, as I believe I mentioned to you and your companions at the time, I was paid quite a princely sum to do so. My normal consultation hours, I think, would come outside of you. Consultation prices would come outside of your range, but I certainly can take a look at you for a couple coin.
Oh, and so speaking of the rules, I have to
Yeah.
spend out of my stash if I don't have it in liquid coin, and that's a
Oh.
2-for-1 rate. Is that right?
It is 2-for-1. Though you just got the coin and could have through the process of downtime. Like you could put stuff in the stash at any point you want. So
Could I?
you've not officially done that.
Could I
Like, what
attempt?
sort
Talk to her.
Yeah, could I attempt a roll to see if she might be, take pity upon me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Consort, Brom. Consort.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Happy dog eyes.
probably not my best course, but
Command.
here's what I will do. I'll approach her coming down the aisle of the lecture hall, and she can see the haunted look in my face. Brom's been trying to cover this up, but he's been very, very shaken by the encounter with the marrow, and he's probably trembling a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'll look her, in the eye, get very close to her, and say, "I've seen things recently that have left me quaking, and I need someone I can rely upon. If you would please help. Please." And I'll kind of grasp her by the wrist, maybe, and make it
Alright.
sort of feel. I'm saying please, but I'm not really asking, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, totally. And this is
Ooh.
a command, I assume. And when you're in a position to frighten someone, you have increased effect. Is that correct? What are your-
Yeah, it's
what are your
either increased
abilities?
effect. Oh, it's 1 + 1 die.
+1 die. Great. All right, take it.
Okay, that's a 6.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Great when your doctor's afraid of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ideal. I'm not even gonna start a clock on this, but I'm just gonna say that we're gonna have a clock that started and ended called "Your benefactor is informed." So Wilhelmina, she's a woman who's like not half your size, but I'm like my original conception of her was Edna Mode. So this is a small woman. Like,
Okay.
And she like and your hand fully comes around her wrist, and she's very still for a moment and says, "Why don't you come with me, Mr. Borden?"
I'm very obliged to you, Dr. Grackle.
Certainly. She walks with you to a practice medical lab where they do sort of patient studies. And she turns on a light, takes a look at you. I'm gonna roll some dice. Oh, you were in luck, my friend. She rolled a critical success. That's 2 6s, which clears 5 ticks.
Okay. So that will get rid of all my first level harm. Is that right?
Yep. All your first level harm is
Oh,
gone.
I feel good.
Yeah. And and then you get the extra as well. So she,
What are you looking at harm-wise right now, Rom?
Oh, I'm out.
It's
I'm
clear.
completely
Clear.
Oh,
better.
la la. Feeling
yeah,
good.
it's
Be
free.
nice.
No, all of his harm is up here.
Yeah.
But as I'm rebuttoning my shirt, I'll just say,
My work is not pretty. And I apologize if I have intruded upon your willingness. But I need a friend. And if there is someone out there who wished good upon me once, I hope they know that I need it again.
and I have no idea as a player who this benefactor is. But I mean, my hope is to start a clock where I might be able to figure it out.
Sure. Okay.
Could I do some kind of like a
Maybe we can
a
just gather
study
information,
on
yeah.
her as I say this and see if I can
Yeah.
get any instinct about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Make a study roll.
It's a 4.
Great. Yeah. So we're gonna make start a 6-part clock called the benefactor. And we're gonna put 2 ticks in it. And as you're talking about this, Wilhelmina sort of interrupt you, and you see like even a little bit of a bruise on her wrist that is formed from your grip on it earlier. Like, yeah, she's a small woman.
Oh no.
And she says, with a little bit of humor, she goes, "There are better ways of making friends than the methods you employed today."
I don't have friends.
Well, I'm surprised to hear it, given your many charms. And she, the interesting sense you get from her is, and she maybe even says this, she says, "I'm not afraid of you or of the harm that people like you can do. Whereas, there are protections that exist in this, in the university and in the connections that I have. I hope that you recognize that in calling upon me, you have called upon one of the great doctors of this city. And someone like me would only be called upon by someone with equal influence."
Yeah,
what you
Brom,
get from her.
Brom will not assert himself any further. He'll just quietly mutter, "Thank you," and leave.
If I could jump in and find, because you're in Charter Hall now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Is that the
If I
university?
could find you on the streets, perhaps.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you!
Beric.
Very nice, and sort of feels your suits and the material. All right, not bad. Just the man I was looking for, in fact. I
Indeed.
was wondering if you could accompany me to Warner Cafe.
And what are you doing there? What's
Well-
your business?
Rumor has it that Robert Boom is being accosted by some, I don't know, poor people, someone from his district complaining about things. I was thinking as a way to get on his good side, because I didn't exactly endear myself to him last time. I tried to find a way to get rid of them for him somehow, and sort of, but you have a somewhat better rapport with the short fuses than I do. Speak their language, so to speak. So I was just hoping to have you along to lend some support.
I suppose I don't have anywhere else to be.
You saunter to the corner cafe. It's sort of later in the day, as the lectures are finishing at the university. A lot of the politicians have come out after the afternoon session. So this is more the like early dinner types, and you pass through a group of Char Hollow individuals dressed sort of roughly in rough clothing, who are sort of sitting outside, who you think might have been, bothering Robert Boom before, and the employees of the corner cafe are making sure they stay at some distance from the entrance. You're able to come in without issue, head upstairs, and find Boom at his table eating with Peter Powder and Gunpowder Sally. And Peter looks up and goes, "Brom, good to see you." And Gunpowder Sally gets up and says, "How are you?"
Yeah, I'll clasp them by the hand and give them kind of a mirthless nod. But yeah, this is probably pretty obvious that Brom is just in a completely different state than most of you have seen him.
Yeah. And Boom gets up and claps you on the shoulder and goes, "Ah, yes, yep." Beric shakes your hand across the table, the big lean, and claps Brom on the shoulder and goes, "Look at him, company man." What you doing, working on a boat these days?
Oh, they've asked me to get off the boat, actually.
Oh, I see.
I've just been around town.
You sleeping on the street again?
Yeah.
You got a place to workshop if you need it. We're all there, though. Not a lot of beds. You can sleep on a workbench, though.
They're very kind of you. But Oh, needed some space.
Understood. Oh, all right. So, what can I do for you all? Says Boom.
Robert, the question isn't what you can do for us, it's what we can do for you. I've heard that you've been having some trouble with solicitors asking
No.
favors.
Not trouble. Not trouble. No, I've been told to be called just to say that I've been hearing from my constituency. This is what I've been told to say. And it's true. I've been hearing from them. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do about it, but I've been told.
I mean, listen, you're doing important business. You shouldn't have to worry about whatever it is they're complaining about. I was just wondering if you wanted someone to take them off your hands, find some way to make them go away.
You wouldn't happen to be able to produce 24 missing teenage girls from under your coat, would you?
No, no, I wouldn't.
Not as such.
They're looking for teenage
Yeah.
girls, so
Yes.
I mean, to
wouldn't
each their
imagine.
own, I suppose. But
Yeah. Yes, that's a bit the worry, I think. What exactly do you intend? I've got these.
we could ask our cohorts to pay them a little visit, maybe tell them to back off something.
I don't like the sound of that exactly.
No. I mean that would be too extreme. I mean, we could talk to them, maybe see.
If you've got any kind of identification, we might be able to look through the names, find out some more.
On the families, you mean?
That's right.
No, it's not a bad idea. The problem is I just don't have. People think you have these big staffs for the people. I've got Gunpowder here. She's great. You're wonderful, my dear. And and then I've got this layabout over here, and Powder is sort of nods agreeably. And I don't have a lot of power with which to do much, and the inspectors are underfunded apparently, and I can't exactly get legislation through on that. So I can get you the names. You could, if you can see anything you find, certainly I'd be pleased to have it. Anything just to.
We would be thrilled to do that for you, Robert, as long as you remember who's on your side, who's helping you out.
Yeah. I know I said I'd have you come round to my office and we could talk a bit of politics. I'm just been so utterly overwhelmed. So you know what? Yes, this would be very helpful. I really appreciate it. Let me and there are like a couple actual sort of law student types that have somehow got dragged into interning for Robert Boom. And he goes, give me a bunch of names, get them on a paper, make sure it's not too cleanly written. I just want it fast. I want it here. I don't want it in 3 days. All right? Okay, great, good. And they head off, and you'll get your paper soon with the names of a bunch of families. Yeah, and we'll move forward. I didn't necessarily feel like there was a role necessary with that, so we're gonna get you 2 more ticks. And what was do you have the name of the clock with the Robert Boom that we were working on? I might have it on a piece of paper somewhere around here.
I wrote down Robert Boom clock. That was,
Great.
that was the extent of
Good
it.
work.
I'm into it.
So I remember I remember it was Robert Boom. I think it was getting him to sort of mentor.
Yes,
Beric.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
So, and I'm assuming we were 2 out of 6 now, and 2 out of 6 then, and now we're at 4 out of 6. That's my assumption.
I think we were only at 1
Okay,
out of 6
Good.
because
So
I
3.
I fluffed the roll.
Yeah, you didn't do super
So,
well on that first one. Yeah,
yeah.
great. So we'll put you at 3 out of 6, so halfway there, to getting some more official help from from Boom. Okay, great.
And as we're leaving, I'll sort of turn to Brom and say, "Did Arusha really kick you off of the Orcus Tooth?"
Yeah, they're doing no repairs or some such.
You, and you're not actually sleeping in the streets, are you?
What angle are you working, Varric? Why'd you come here? To ingratiate yourself with the Charl Hollow scum?
Look, Robert Boom is the only assembly member who is willing to talk to me and willing to allow me into that world. I need to build on whatever relationships I can. If that includes doing private detective work into some mewling families, then so be it.
Yeah.
It matters.
So you put your foot in the scum, and you found a penny. Is that it? You think you can get something out of this? You think having a council member in your corner is going to, what, reunite you with your family?
I don't care to be reunited with my family. No, I want what I assumed all of us wanted, some modicum of control in this world, in this damn city. And that's about who you know and how you use it. Might do
Yeah,
well to
that's
remember
fair.
that, Brom.
That's fair. That's some bloody realpolitik.
And I will, if you're okay, I'll bring you in by the collar and say,
There are families. They're not mewling. They've lost something. They've lost someone. Did it ever occur to you that there are people behind this? The people hurt. Maybe we try to help them.
and my hand's shaking, and again that haunted look in the eye, and then I'll let go, and you see the wall come back up. I'll light a cigar and say,
I think we better do some legwork. See what we can find out.
Yes. And you're right. The people too, I know. It's not that I don't care. It's just sometimes it's easier not to worry about every single person in the city. Look at the big picture sometimes, but you're right.
It's quite a load to take. I suppose we've all got our burdens.
Yes. Well, if you needed as well, I suppose you could sleep on the stairs in my apartment. You didn't want to be outside. Just gonna trail off.
and I'll just push past you, kind of bump your shoulder as I walk out.
Oh my god. Amazing. Anything else from either of you as you head off in those directions? Great. Oh, Jamie.
Another downtime action, but I can wait for another scene to come up.
Thinking. Yeah. No. Yeah. Here's my thought. So, girl, and Hicks, if you're around in the evening at the Yellow Parrot. You notice it's the dinner rush. There's a bunch of people. It goes pretty well, and eventually, people start sort of filtering out. There's a point where you're at the bar, Fleur Duval, and Finette sort of steps out to take out some trash and lets out a blood-curdling scream. She races back. Another cook is, jumps, steps out after her, screams as well, and runs back in, slamming the door and goes, "There's a ghost outside. There's a ghost outside."
Immediately, the girl actually turns to the patrons who are still sort of lingering and still there. You said there were still a few people?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
I'm sure everything is fine, everybody. Let me just take care of some staffing problems, and she'll move to the back where the cooks are. What is wrong? You're yelling loud enough that the patrons can hear you.
There is a ghost out there. Finette is holding a frying pan, which she has just picked up, which is still steaming, and she goes, "It's a ghost right outside. I saw it outside." and the other one is just like frozen still. You hear the front door make a big noise as Tormus, your greeter, comes in from the outside.
Thank God.
And stomps back and goes, "There are more ghosts out there."
Are the lights on? Are they?
I think most of them, he gets you could look out the windows and see that the more inner parts of Sotra, the lights are on, but some of the ones closer to the water have gone off. And so there's and as you are talking to him, you feel like there's a prickle on the back of your neck, and a bluish light comes in through the window in the door behind you.
We have to lock the doors. We have to figure out something to tell the patron.
To tell them there's a ghost to get the fuck out of here.
I mean, perhaps we can offer complimentary drinks or something.
Do whatever you need to do. I gotta go. I'm gonna go find a Railjack or Brom or Aldo or Jean-Pierre or any of the litany of other people who would have been better to have been dropped here tonight.
Be careful, you can
back.
Leave through the roof. Leave through the roof.
Through the roof. Okay, so I'll leave through the roof.
Yeah, there's like a window. The girl does it all the time.
There's an
Great,
outdoor.
I'm like out the window, and I'm just like, she leaves through this way, and I'm just like a little out of my depth, but turn like smooth my hair, go back downstairs very calmly and out the front door because I can't. Not everyone can leave through the roof, Miss Fleur Duval. And
you are frozen in place, Hicks, as you see that. Well, actually, when you go at the top, you see that there are more than a dozen ghosts swirling specifically around the yellow parrot. The other areas around here are not having, like, there's a couple ghosts that you see sort of haunting a few other buildings, and you see like a man with like an electrical wire that he's trying to like use to frighten this thing like 10 blocks away. But you're not necessarily going to get out of this immediately.
Okay.
Or at least not without a roll. So yeah, there are multiple ghosts floating on the outside of this sort of.
I'll come down and convey that information to Miss Duval.
Right.
They're targeting us.
Or something around here. I don't know. Listen, do you know anything about this shit? As a rule, I never fuck with ghost shit, but...
I mean, I do the best I can to avoid it. Where are the people who like this sort of thing?
Great question. All right, it's you and me. It's you and me. They're not here. It's you and me.
Thomas, would you mind making complimentary drinks?
I'm on it.
I'm like looking at his arm like that thing.
He's like, don't you even think about it.
I wasn't.
It's tempting.
Yeah, like crackles with electric energy.
Crackly. No. Okay, great.
He's making drinks, and you see him like shaking a little bit. He's worried.
Let's just maybe go talk to him. Let's just maybe go. I mean, some ghosts you can reason with. Some ghosts you can at least get some sort of sense of what they want. Maybe they want one of the patrons. Maybe it's something to do with one of these people that you've been getting around to come around here, and we can just go out, find out what they want, give them one of the patrons, and then they'll leave us be.
I mean, as long as we do the giving of the patron thing secretly, I wouldn't want it to ruin the
Whatever
reputation.
you need to do to protect your optics. I don't.
Perhaps through a window. We can talk to them through a window.
Let's
Don't have to
go
open the door.
upstairs then through your window.
Right. So we'll make our way upstairs, and I want to try and be doing this with like as little contact as possible while still communicating.
Sure. A little contact with the ghosts as possible, or with the guests? Yes.
Oh, with the ghosts. As Fleur moves her way through the patron's dining room, if you just would hold for a second, Thomas is making drinks for all of us, and I'm sure this will all be resolved quickly and
The people
efficiently.
are dragging their tables against the walls. They're just like someone has tilted a table over and is like making a barricade.
I'm like holding onto your hand, like hoping that you'll come with me, like scared.
We'll make our way upstairs.
Great.
You finally do it, and there's a window which is closed. You open it up, and two ghosts passing by sort of freeze and turn their faces to you. They're translucent bluish, but the flesh, like the translucent flesh, appears to be desiccating to some degree. The sort of jawbone half hanging off, and both of you must either resist or take level 1 harm of ghost terror, because that is what ghosts do all the time.
I will resist it.
I'll resist.
Okay.
Rolled a 4, so I'll take
Okay.
2
So
stress.
2 stress. Yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, so no stress. Yeah. So Hicks maybe sort of steps back a little bit, whereas the girl kind of is able to take it at least a little. Or I don't know if you have specific thoughts about how you react.
Yeah, like I think, she's had a couple experiences with ghosts and she's kind of tough and ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just really wants her patrons to not,
Other hand.
Yeah. The ghosts sort of look at you. And sort of float a little bit closer to you. What do you do?
What do you
Maybe,
want?
Ask them what they want. I'll aid by being present.
Amazing.
What do you want with us? What do you want with this establishment? What do we do to you?
More are sort of floating around, sort of in the background around them.
What does the Spirit Bane charm do? Is that to attack?
It will frighten them. It's meant to, I believe, is meant to sort of to scare them off. It's it's the idea of the cross for the vampire.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's in her room now, so she'll go to the dresser drawer, open the top dresser, pull it out. Like, answer me! What did we do to you?
And they cower back a little bit. There's another window behind your bed, and there are other ghosts passing around it. And one of them, who's still sort of frightened, reaches out a hand and begins to draw in a sort of ghostly bluish ink on the window, and draws the shape of an imperfect, incomplete circle. And then behind you in the other bedroom, another one.
So the girl is clutching at the back of her neck where her hair hides a symbol that I assume is the same symbol.
Is the same as this symbol, yes. Yeah.
I
Their
don't-
reaction.
I don't think they want a patron Hicks. I think they might want me.
What?
And she'll lift her hair up and show the same symbol on the back of her neck to her friend here.
Oh my god. Okay.
A fair reaction, yes?
Okay. Let's well, we gotta get you out of here.
Do you think they'll leave do you think I'll be safe if I...
Okay. Aldo, we gotta just get to the Queen's Magnolia. I'm pretty sure Aldo has got that place pretty well ghost warded. And I think that it's a fair run from here, but I'm with you.
Right?
Great. I'm gonna go get Tormes. I'll explain. I'm like, Tormes, we got to get her out of here, and you need to help us.
What? Do you know what they want? Do you know what's going on?
For some reason, Miss Duval feels like they want her, so we need to get her out of here. We're gonna go to the Queen's Magnolia.
Right. He turns to the guests and says, "Everyone, remain calm. We are going to parley with the undead, and hopefully this will be resolved. That's the plan. All right." And he picks up a chair. He steps out the front door of the restaurant, and Fleur, you're maybe looking from the second floor down, and he goes, "Oh, that's strange." And you see at his feet is a trail of ghostly blue energy that leads down the street and curves down an alleyway.
Is it going in the direction of the Queen's Magnolia by any chance?
Nope. It's going a different direction. And one of the ghosts, so that looks the most sort of most sane, is sort of clutching its head and goes,
So the girl is upstairs and she's quickly changed into her thieves black from sort of her nice fleur de lis gown dress. She's going to leap from the second story window and land silently on the ground. If you want me to roll for it, I can. Roll?
Well, what are you attempting to? So you're attempting to hide from them? Is that the attempt?
No. I think I'm attempting to land sort of in front of the ghost, like quietly.
It's another day at work for you.
Yeah, boom.
And she'll
looking down at you. Oh my god.
She'll turn to Hicks. Well, are you coming?
Yeah, I'll turn around and go back downstairs through the building.
And she'll start. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'll just sprain an ankle if I try that.
Yeah. Down the stairs. Not through the front door. And the guests are just sitting there like, are they gone?
Just a moment.
And she'll.
Right, me and the maitre d' Tormes are now on the street, and presumably with you.
Yeah, and she'll start sort of running in the direction of the ghost energy.
Okay. Yeah. You follow the trail north through Silkshore. The lights are out here and also across the river in Crowsfoot. Like, it is very dark, and the only light you can see is in the distance. You're led north on the path until you get to a point where if you look east, you can see the hill that is the Lost District. And you are on the beach. There's just like a little brick wall that's sort of a sea wall. And the ghosts have sort of followed you a little bit and are like overhead and around you. And like there's nobody on the streets. All these people are avoiding this. And you hear a voice that says, "You have not answered me." And when you look down into the water, you see a face looking up at you. A man in an old-fashioned suit. You recognize who visited you. I'll let Kristen, you make the choice of how close are Hicks and Tormes. Are they witnessing this? Have you sort of gestured them to stop? What's the situation?
I think the girl is quite quick on her feet, so I think she's been running and hasn't been bothering to
wait for them.
And especially as she realizes the ghosts aren't actively attacking her, I think she's picked up the pace and has kind of skidded to a halt here, and they're still paces behind.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The figure looks up at you from the water. You have not answered me.
I don't want anything to do with this ghost madness. You've reached the wrong person. I'm sorry. I can't help you. And I can't help them.
Who can you help?
Children. This is about the children, isn't it?
Yes. I showed you and your friends the suffering that is happening. I showed you the ones responsible. But you've done nothing.
Did anyone do anything for me when I was one of those children?
Long, pooled my energy in the attempt to reach someone who might do something. I'm sorry. I tried to save you from those waters. I don't know where you came from before that. But I can help you. I can find your past.
Listen there, and she'll gesture to the hill of the Lost District.
Yes.
My name is in there.
Yes. All the secrets are there. If you find me, if you come to me, I can show you not only that, I can help you apprehend these Villains.
I'm not sure anything in the city will ever change. If you apprehend them, there'll be more. There'll always be more. You'll help me find my name. What do I have to do?
To me, find a way to the hilltop, the willow tree, the ritual of the White Gate.
Okay.
You promise me.
I promise.
He reaches up his hand. If he was facing you, it would just look like a normal handshake, but his hand reaches up. You know, he's inside the beneath the water's surface, a sort of reflection.
And she'll reach down and touch at the water's surface.
And as you do, your palm touches his palm on the water. And there's this little bit of light, and then he is gone, and the ghosts that have been sort of coming close around you, maybe close enough gathering around you that Hicks and Tormus couldn't get close because you're sort of surrounded by them. They begin to dissipate and fly away.
Great. I'll run up with Tormus, presumably, and just be like,
Yeah.
Are you all right? What?
I don't think so, no.
Oh.
And she sort of claps on the ground.
I'll go to her and, take her hand or try to comfort her in whatever way seems appropriate. I don't know. I'll just be there.
It's the children that have been going missing. We have to help them. We have to find them.
Okay.
And we have to go there. And she'll point to the hilltop in the Lost District. Yeah. I think that's where I'm from. I think that's where my name is. I think somehow I think that's key to this whole mess.
Okay. Well, we'll go there. We'll find a way to go there.
The patrons, do you think they're okay? Should we get back to them?
They're probably doing really good. Yeah. A little while back, I told the maitre d' to return. He wasn't really keeping up super well. Neither of us were keeping up super well. But I was just like, she's gonna ask about the patrons, is what I say. So why don't you go be the host? Show them a good time. Calm the net down. Get her to send out some chips and salsa or something. And
That's good.
Yep. So you get back, and the place is completely cleared out. Everybody is gone, but Finette is sitting at one of the table, and Tormus is, serving her, pouring another drink for her, and she's drinking and sort of calming down. And yeah.
Perhaps, Finette, you'd be so good as not mention this to the White Stag.
Sure. I don't. Yeah. Do you know what it was about?
Oh, No, I don't. But I was able to lure them away. I have a spirit vein charm that I keep, and Hicks was, of course, a great help. And it all just rather funny now that we come to see it in the light of a new night, a new 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
Just laugh
as you're
nervously, and when she
as you
says it's funny, I'll laugh.
as you join in on saying the light of a new day, the power comes back on, and one of the light bulbs fries. And
Oh my god.
and Tormus goes, yeah.
Rather funny, isn't it? We'll get that fixed, of course. We'll get that fixed right away.
Yeah,
And-
the ghosts in general have done 1 coin's worth of damage to the yellow parrot.
Yo, not so bad. Not so bad in hindsight.
That comes out of the group stash, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
what?
Of course. It's our. We share that.
Aldo will fix it for free, and then we don't need to.
Well, I mean, the cost of materials, you know.
They're replacing some glass. There's a hinge that's broken, etc. All right. So, anything else to do with the night of the ghost attack? Yeah. Wait. Well. Sorry.
What?
I wanted
Sorry.
to. I was curious if there's anything. If we get a moment of the girl alone when everyone's going home. I don't know if there's
Sure.
anything there. Just wanted to, if there's anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think. You know what I think the girl would do is, go upstairs, take a moment to herself, maybe look in a mirror at the back of her mark, nod to herself, and then she is gonna go over to Batilde and Daniel, who now live very close. And she'll show up and, seem kind of rattled. She's not gonna say what happened, but when Batilde offers tea, which Batilde will, the girl will accept. And with Bluey on her lap, like petting the dog, the girl is going to take a few deep breaths there.
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
The
I
people.
love that. That's great. Yeah. Wonderful. Carson.
So, it's past the appointed hour. Aldo said he would come over to your place, Hicks, if he can, if that's okay, if we set that as the appointed location.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
get like done with this situation at the Yellow Parrot, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Try to relax. I forgot I invited, my stressed out buddy over, but
Yeah. So there's a knock on your door.
oh fuck. Okay, great. I'll open the door.
And,
Aldo, hey.
Aldo's got a silver shimmer in his eye and sort of the unfocused look of what you saw before. Smells a little bit of alcohol as well. And he's
my
standing
God.
here with a satchel. Sorry, I'm late.
Okay, what you got there, buddy?
It's everything I have. And he'll kind of walk past into your place and set it down. It's not exactly everything. And I'd like to offer some of this mist, I'm calling it.
Okay, what does this do?
It's what I gave you the other night. It will help you, I think, see what I have seen. I'll be honest with you, I don't know for sure, but the girl says she saw. I think I can show you.
Although I don't need to see it. Maybe it's just for you.
No,
Maybe I'm just with you. Do you think this would be better if both of us are rolling this, or maybe if you are and I am just with you?
You need all the information. I can show you what I saw. You might see something I didn't.
Right.
Please.
I'll go to an end table and open a drawer and pull out a little kit with my
baby, got the Hicks kit
special
out.
syringe and tap this shit out. And
God damn.
just like look at him, and I'm just like, okay,
And-
you're getting better in that you're asking lately. As
Well-
I'm like very casually like shooting this into my arm.
Thank you for this. And he'll just close his eyes. He's just not gonna wait. He can't wait any longer. And what I'd like to do is first do like I did before and use Ghost Ward to attract ghosts into this house.
Oh my god, into my I live here. Okay, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just I invited you over. Great, I'll aid, presumably, because I just shot your whack drug into my arm.
All right,
I'll
you're
take one
attuning.
stress from that.
Yeah, I'll attune.
Right.
Maybe this will be pleasurable to you, and you can use it as a stress recovery.
Certainly.
Probably not. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a 6.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Whoa. Great.
Sorry, I
So
forgot to roll too.
you're good. Once again, your eyes light up, sort of smoke pouring out of them, like white ghostly smoke. The runes appear on the floor again. Your hands are just pressing onto the furniture and the bed, and this draws around you into the earth, and then you feel like the bottom come out on any warmth that you had in your body, and it's as if you're standing up to the waist in bitterly cold water. You know the feeling when you like walk into the ocean, it's super cold, and like there's never a point where you start to get used to it. You're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Just worse the whole time. That's the feeling. Just like, and you become aware of the ghosts around you. The ghosts that are being fought by like Sparkbrights and other people who are in Silkshore, because the power has sort of been sporadic, and a few of them are sort of you feel them
Great.
becoming aware.
I'll pull them as close. They might even come through the walls if that's okay. Just a little bit as they're approaching, and when I feel that they're close enough, and I think Hicks, you would feel that whatever's inside of you makes you slightly resistant to their
Fear.
their scary presence.
Yep.
God.
And
New drug.
yeah, I got a new drug, one that won't make me sick. Okay, good song. And I want to reverse it like I did on the train, trying to recreate what had happened to try to maybe pass something into here. So I'm gonna make another. Roll.
So before it happens, we'll have the sense of 5 or 6 ghosts. There's an old woman, and there's 2 men who both look like they fought sort of bloody final moments, who are also drifting in and sort of looking at the edge of the ghost sword, sort of like tasting at it with their ghostly flesh, sort of like disappearing through the wall. And then Aldo sends them all out. Does it require an action to create the opposite?
We if we want to use it for narrative.
Let's not worry. Let's not
that's
worry
fine.
about it. This
Great.
is part of this is part of your indulge, right?
Yeah, I would like to. I mean, however effective it is, but yeah, I want to send them out. And as I channel that power to ward them away, I'm focusing specifically on those visions I had in the White Gate, the time that I was out, the visions of this man, of the shiny shoes and the rings, anything that I can try to get to Hicks, and you can decide how effective this is.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get a lot of flashes, like the pouring rain and this girl getting into this cart alongside the man with many rings, and the breaking of the little boy's hand. You get a flash of that, and it cuts away just as you hear the cracking noise, and you see the White Gate. You see the view of the city down below from this beautiful garden. You hear the voices of the girl and Danya and all these things. It's sort of all this through your mind very quickly, and you're back in the room.
And that's everything. And I'm okay with cutting the scene here unless you need to say anything else.
Yeah, Hicks, do we get a first reaction?
What the fuck?
and cut to Brom. Where are you? What's going on?
Yeah, so I need to indulge my vice, and
Make your roll, Carson, and just do your number. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Glenn.
Brahm has been at somewhere far away, probably in Silk Shore, but away from the yellow parrot,
Mhm.
and getting very, very, very drunk.
Yeah.
Eventually, I stumble to a little spot which I have picked out in advance, on a balcony overlooking an alley outside the Heron's Roost.
Roost. Yeah. hmm
Um,
This is in
and
Night
I'm
Market, correct? Sorry,
great.
was that what you
Yeah.
said?
So
You've gone to Night Market.
leave the place in Silk Shore. Probably a bottle in my hand. Stumble my
Yeah.
way back to the spot I've chosen.
Yeah.
I'm reckless and haunted, but I ain't stupid.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I work my way up to this spot, and I'm gonna stay there for as long as it takes to spot the man with many rings coming out of the Heron's Roost.
Okay.
And I've got like drinks lined up, and everything is there. I've got a little bit of food, and I'm just gonna plant myself. If it takes 10 days, so be it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let me roll a fortune roll here. You start drinking. You're up on a rooftop. Is that what you said? Or a windowsill?
Yeah,
of a-
rooftop, or like a balcony
Yeah.
of maybe an abandoned
Yeah.
apartment or something.
Yeah. I love it. So and this is starting in the middle of the night. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. You wait there, or is it like a late evening? Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, I'm just trying to get a sense of if you have a sense of a specific time.
Yeah, let's say I will start actually early morning.
Okay.
So like
yeah.
2 hours before dawn, maybe. I've been
Yeah.
drinking all night.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you watch the door. You see the bear comes in at one point. He's got a dog with him, a couple dogs and a couple owners. These are some racing dogs. He comes in, he comes out a little bit later, gets in the car, they head somewhere else. A carriage, they go somewhere else.
And I've got like a notepad, and I'm making some
Yeah.
rough notes about what I see.
Yeah, you see Casimir, you see he comes in, long wait, comes back out. We wait for most of the afternoon, no sign of the man with many rings. Then so sunset happens pretty early, like 4 p.m. It's right before the equinox or the solstice or whatever the thing is. Night has fallen. Wait another 2 hours. The carriage comes up, and you see 2 carriages come up. The man with many rings comes out. Another agent of the collective gets out, not Casimir, someone else. And behind them is another one. There's a young woman and an older man, and they all head into the roost together.
Okay. I will load my gun, and I'm going to wait until they come out, or until the man with many rings comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and just because we haven't actually gotten too close of a look at the man with many rings since this, like when you saw him when he originally steps in, man in fine clothes, wears a lot of rings on his left hand. He's very pale faced, soft features, and walks pretty deliberately. You're also aware of the 3 physical things that you learned about him from Aldo, which is that he appears to be, there's something that he's wearing on one of his legs, and also that he has a lot of scars on the back of the hand of the same hand where he wears all the rings, and that he has a tattoo on his inner forearm, which has been which is partially covered up at times. He walks inside wearing a big black coat, steps inside, and you're able to see through some windows. You see like some gambling tables, and you actually see their group sit down.
And they remain masked at all times.
Yeah, he's in the fox mask. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They don't actually remain masked all the time, but in this case, he is.
Sure.
Yeah. So you wait and wait, and 5 hours pass, and 6 hours pass. About 2 a.m, Is there a point at which Brom does something else, or is he just?
So I've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I am
You're
reckless and determined, and nothing is going to stop me this time.
waiting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm probably seeing double.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Around 2 a.m, a few people step out. Casimir steps out first with another agent of the collective, and a carriage comes up, and Man with Many Rings and the older man and the young girl all come out together. The carriage actually doesn't show up yet. They are waiting outside.
Okay. While they're waiting outside, I would like to make my way down to the street, and I'd like to do it as quickly as possible, and still maintain it at a vague attempt at not being seen.
Yeah, great. Let's
I'd
make
like
a
to
prowl
get
on
to the
that.
street level before a carriage arrives, if I can.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, let's make a prowl roll and see how it
Prowl?
see how it
Okay.
happens.
That
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I have only 2 stress slots left, so I can't push.
Yeah.
It's a 3.
Oh no.
So I and that was the prowl. So
yeah. So it's a pretty controlled position. Like they don't know where you are yet. Basically,
I'm prioritizing speed over stealth.
yeah, yes.
So if it is not succeeding, I think Brom is erring on the side of being seen but getting there, and he's so drunk, like
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
stumbling out there. So I think he just makes himself known. I think so. Like you're able to make it out there. No carriage is. There's a carriage coming down the street at this point.
okay.
Um,
Maybe I'm like coming down and I try to do like a parkour drop off of a balcony and I just fall flat onto my back onto the
Oh
sidewalk.
gosh. Yeah, and you sort of you lift yourself off. There's no.
Fuck.
Let's. I mean, do you think you take a harm from that fall?
I mean,
Or
you
no-
tell me. You said it was a controlled position, so no, I
Let's take
don't
a
think.
position. No, you don't. You don't. You sort of step across into the street onto the cobblestones, and you hear one of the agents, not Casimir, go, "Oh, ahoy there!" Sort of like part greeting, part warning, and you hear the girl say quietly, like the others might not be hearing. She goes, "Mr. Borden." And you see the face of Emma Gallo, your former student, who you saw in the vision getting into the carriage with the man with many rings. She is sitting here with this man sort of on her arm.
There's Casimir, the
Casimir,
man.
another agent, man with many rings, and this old man and her.
Oh no.
Go for it, Brom.
Yeah,
Do what you gotta do, Brom.
I've got a bottle. Maybe it's broken in my fall, and I stumble toward them. I go to take a drink out of it and notice that it's broken.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking for the other half of this. I apologize if I've troubled you.
One of them says, "We could certainly help you find another half of your bottle, perhaps tomorrow after a good night's rest."
No, I just want to talk. You see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, and there's 1 of me.
And I point to myself with my gun.
All right, there. And Casimir is sort of distracted, working on something else. The fox looks at you and says, "Now, what is going on, my good man?"
Oh, am I? Am I a good man?
And I take the gun and I throw it at Casimir.
Okay.
Not with any like aggression or attempt to actually hurt him. I'm throwing the gun, trying to get the attention on that, and then I lunge at the fox
Okay.
with the intent of tearing the mask off.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. All right. So let's roll a skirmish
And
on
I-
that.
I mean, if this isn't already desperate, I'd love to
Yeah,
sacrifice.
this is
position for effect.
desperate. Yeah, it's desperate.
Can I still sacrifice position for effect to make it even worse, or is
Uh,
desperate the worst?
We can push it for. Let's say it's risky since they have not yet. No one's pulled out a gun yet. So let's say you push it to desperate by throwing this gun at him, and he's like maybe turning and sort of noticing you just as this happens.
Yeah. So Casimir sees the gun coming toward him, and then I'll
Yeah.
lunge, a little in a different direction, just to grab the snout of the fox and tear it backward if I can.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like skirmish, but I don't want to just lean into my strongest trait.
I think.
Can I roll a skirmish?
You're totally skirmishing.
Just skirmishing.
Okay. And
Lean in.
do you think that I can push on this to get a 4th die? And if I succeed, I get it off and see his face as I stress out.
As you take trauma. Oh my gosh. I mean, have you not reduced stress yet?
I haven't done the roll.
Oh, you haven't done the roll yet. Okay. Certainly. Yeah, you can do it.
I assume that the reduced stress roll would come at the end of the scene,
Yeah.
because
I mean, it's-
this is the reckless thing that I'm.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the push. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You can choose it. Your call.
Let me. Yeah.
I can
am.
also give you a devil's bargain on it. Okay.
Okay.
great.
Oh, give me a devil's bargain. Let's hear it.
I think it's that this is totally like this is very much sort of pushing what narrative we're happening here. Then my thought is you see his face, but you do not get away, meaning that they capture you.
And that would allow me to roll 4?
That would allow you to roll 4.
So
yeah.
either way, I'm not getting away if I take the devil's bargain,
If you
but
take
I
the
might
devil's
see his
bargain,
face.
you're not gonna. Yes. No. Well, because the goal is just to see his face. It's not to hurt him. It's not to knock him down. It's not to. Yeah. It's
No.
just to see the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the bargain.
Great.
That's your choice to
I'll
take.
take
or
it.
not.
I'll take
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
That is 3 6s.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wow, you would have
Wow.
criticaled without the devil's help. Remember
Yeah.
that.
Without the devil's help.
And so
You don't
I
need
lunge
that,
at him.
devil.
If I can, I tear the
Yeah.
fox mask back. I look him straight in the eye, and I say the name of the girl. What's her name?
Emma Gallo.
Emma Gallo.
And what do I see?
You see a pale-faced man with soft features. This is someone you've never met before or seen. He looks terrified and affronted. He sort of pulls back. You actually both fall to the ground together and are wrestling on the ground, and he looks at you in utter shock and like completely not expecting this, as Casimir, with the butt of your own gun, slams you on the back of the head and knocks you out. And you crash onto the ground. Snow is falling gently. You feel a few snowflakes hit your face, and that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all.
man. Okay, well now we're gonna take a break for a week.
The mid-season finale.
Yeah, it was definitely
Oh,
a mid-season
man.
finale.
Yeah, that's the mid-season finale. Goodness gracious! Wow, thank you to everybody. Oh my gosh, so many amazing scenes, so much fantastic stuff. Woo! Oh man, wow. So, thank you all for watching. Thanks for being here. We have Moonshade tomorrow. Yes. Tell us a bit about it, Graham.
Yes, tomorrow we'll be playing the Moonshade Isles. If you haven't seen any of our Rising Shadows stream, this is a charity stream for Jasper's Game Day, a group that raise funds for suicide awareness and prevention through gaming events. And we will be raising money for them as we play the Rising Shadows storyline of Dungeons and Dragons. So this is produced by Baldman Games, and our series has been featuring the designers and some other illustrious streaming figures. So we've got some excellent guests coming on tomorrow. B. Zelda, Andy Demps, and Jenny Loveday and many others. So come join us. That's at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow on Ghostlight RPGs.
On Ghostlight RPGs. Here we are on the Ghostlight. Guys, oh, so exciting. Yeah, Moonshay has been so awesome. So we will not, as mentioned, we will not be having the Contraband next week. We will, I believe, be having something else. Carson, do you want to talk about it?
Yes, we're gonna fill our off week with some in-universe Blades hacks called Dogs in the Bark, which is a dog hack of Blades in the Dark. So it should be fun. In universe, maybe a little bit of a lore tie-in, but it should be a fun time. So come and join.
Yeah, very exciting. Chris and I will both miss it, which sucks.
Oh, I'm so
love
sad.
Dogs in the Bark. But
It's really good.
yes, very excited for that. And then the next week we will return and see what the hell just happened. Holy crap.
I can't wait. 2 weeks.
I need a minute.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
Okay, guys. Thank you all so much. That was so wonderful. Are we going to head off to a raid? Is that the plan? What are we
I
doing?
haven't even thought about it. I'm sorry. I've just been sitting
That's
here
great. We're in the
reeling.
Yes,
moment.
let's raid that
Yeah, let's do it.
D'Angelo.
Yes.
That underscore
Yeah.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
do it. We got it.
D'Angelo,
They're the
DEANGELO. Is that correct? I don't know. I'm not typing
There
it.
it is.
Got
Oh, I
it.
see.
Perfect. Well, we'll head out there then.
Yeah, we'll head there. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you very soon.